Pablo Crypto says, what would be your advice for first-time cold storage holders? That's a great question. My advice, well, I talked about getting 2 cold cards so you could actually take your 12 words that you wrote down from your original, your cold card 1, take those 12 words, restore it into cold card 2, make sure that you can restore it properly, make sure you have the words written down, make sure they're in order. And I think that'll just help you sleep a little bit better. So you can, the keys in that sense are generated offline from cold card 1, and then you restore them also offline into cold card 2 to make sure that the restoration process works. So that's first piece. The second thing I would say is, like, when you have those 12 words, don't leave them near your cold card. Keep them in a different spot. Keep them in a different location. And the reason for that is because if you had a cold card, cold storage device, this could be a cold card, passport, Jade, Bitbox, anything, Trezor, you have your device, and then you have your 12 words written down. Somebody finds them, and this is what I used to do myself. I used to keep my seed phrase, my device in the same spot. The problem with that is if somebody finds that spot, your device is useless because you need a PIN code to access this. And so if somebody found that spot that you're keeping your recovery phrase and your device in, they take those 12 words that you had written down on paper and they put that into their own device or a new wallet, and they can move your Bitcoin now. So this is what you need to worry the most about, actually, because if somebody finds your 12 words, your Bitcoin's gone. And that's why we have super backed. That's why we push so hard for people to actually encrypt their data so that it's not written in plain text. Because if you have your words written in plain text and somebody finds those words, your Bitcoin's gone. It's a problem. So that's why I suggest people eventually work towards encryption. That's a service that we provide through the 21 Sats security and inheritance plan. But just keep them in a separate location, first of all, and make sure that your 12 words are hidden very well. You can leave this thing almost anywhere because it has a PIN code. You can leave it at the bank in a safety security box, because even if the bank employee went rogue and got access to your safety security box, they can't do anything with it without your PIN code. Whereas if you had your 12 words in a safety security box and they found those, they now have your Bitcoin. And the third thing I would say is that if you are somebody who is somewhat new to Bitcoin, don't rush into cold storage. If you're in Canada, you can leave your Bitcoin at a place like ShakePay. You can just send the money. They'll hold your Bitcoin for you, your Bitcoin. It's not really yours until you move it off of there, but they'll hold it for you and you'll have the price exposure to Bitcoin without having to worry about losing it. If you're in the US, you can use River. And same thing, you can send them dollars. They'll give you price exposure to Bitcoin. You don't actually own the Bitcoin, but you can't mess it up either. There's obviously risks with letting somebody else hold your Bitcoin for you, but I think that those risks are much smaller than actually trying to do it yourself without you knowing what you're doing yet. So if you're in Canada, use ShakePay. If you're in the US, use River, and just let them hold your Bitcoin for a while. It's not your long-term plan. You should be taking action to take self-custody of that Bitcoin eventually, but it's okay to leave it on an exchange for a little while you get your shit together.